Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything, everything. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything, everything Chris.
To you, really. So, talking about the Sevenoaks, how did that all come about? Was that Sevenoaks your only option, or did you have other options in the WBBL?
So, believe it or not, my first year out of university at Holy Family, I graduated, I went to Northumbria. So, my first year, yeah, in the WBBL, I played for Northumbria, and I went there, and, you know, a lot of deals with within the WBBL is kind of like you get your masters and you play. So you play on the Bucks team and then you play within the WBBL. But back then it wasn't considered the WBBL. It was just Division One. So I did that for a year, and then I don't know. They kind of had like, I guess, like money problems or whatever. So they only brought back one American, who's actually one of my best friends. She's in here too, T. And so I played with her at Northumbria for that year. Then I went home for a year. I kind of tried to find an agent, tried to do some stuff like that, and I just wasn't really, didn't really have any luck with anything. So I kind of, in the transition of the coach from Sevenoaks, Len, reaching out to me and me trying to transition into doing coaching, I had actually accepted a position being a coach at my old high school right when he kind of reached out to me. So I kind of had to backtrack on that. And I went to Sevenoaks maybe like halfway through the year, because then again, it was still considered D1, and the visa process wasn't as simple as it is now. And then, so yeah, I went there for like maybe half the season. And then the next season I was like, you know what, I got to give this a full go. So I didn't, you know, really look to go anywhere else. I was like, I'm just going to go back there. I enjoyed it there. And then, yeah, ever since I keep one more year, and I just keep ending up back there playing. But yeah, it's just, Sevenoaks is great. Yeah, I've been there.
Just giving yourself one more year each time.
Six years, I want to say.
It's been there 6 years.
Yeah. Well, I guess they turned into the WBBL maybe 3 years ago. 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I think quite a while back. Yeah, 4 or more, maybe a bit more. I'm not too sure. I looked online. It did say 7 or 6. I can't remember. But it's been.
Yeah, it might be 7. Right, it might be 7. It's hard to count sometimes, because the first year I went was like kind of like half a season, and then the next time I went it was, and then it turned into the WBBL. So yeah, but we've had a good run.
It's been amazing. No, it's been amazing. It's been glad to see that they've made a professional league over here for you women. I found out about women's WBBL last year, and it was they've got WBBL. I thought it was all D1 all this time, but I didn't know it was WBBL. So it's been great to see that, definitely.
Yeah.
So talking of Sevenoaks, because I used to go to college near there, and I know about Kent very well. What was your whole perspective on the Kent life, you know, of Sevenoaks on and off the court? What do you think of the culture over there?
Well, we don't actually live, well, one of my teammates lived in Sevenoaks for a while, but I live in Surrey, so we travel quite a bit. Yeah, we travel quite a bit to go to Sevenoaks, and I've never really like explored Sevenoaks besides like the main street. But yeah, so we travel like a good 45 minutes each way to get to Sevenoaks for practice and stuff. But I mean, Surrey and Sevenoaks are both right outside of London, so you know that's one of the best parts about those types of locations. So,
because I thought you'd be in Sevenoaks, because it is a nice upscale area, but I thought you was like right there. So what's the basketball culture like playing for Sevenoaks? The fans, you know, how did they embrace you and stuff?
Sevenoaks is they have a great club, so they really focus on bringing up the younger talent. My first couple years was really only involved with like the girls side. My first year we had I want to say we only had 3. We had 2 Americans and we had a girl from Denmark. And I want to say that's the only non-British people we had. And so we had a lot of young girls step up that, you know, eventually go and play in, go to the university for, go to the States for university. So they're really big on that. So that's really dope to see in the country, right? Because you see some clubs are very focused on their specific professional team or like an older, but Sevenoaks is really, they really allow to embrace the younger girls, and they get to come up and, you know, Definitely. They get to practice with us. And even this year, some of like, I know the men's side is quite large too. And they even showed a lot of support this year, which was really nice. Because there's no, I don't even know, maybe Sevenoaks men have like a Division 4. I don't even know what they have. So it's. I
do remember they did get to Division 1 or 2 at one point. This is when I played about, we're going back 8 years now, more than about 10 years now when I last played. Yeah, so they were, because I did play against them, they were in the National League, but I don't know where they are now.
So yeah, it's just a club that really, you know, they really try to, because basketball is definitely like a minority sport there. No, even though tons of kids play. So yeah, they're really good about that. They're really good about, you know, just allowing the kids to, you know, learn the game of basketball. And we try to, the WBBL team tries to be as involved with the younger kids as much as possible.
I'm very surprised about Sevenoaks men that an organizer I've heard that's well organized. Organization I've heard that's well organized. Find it very surprising they're not gone to the BBL yet, but there might be reasons for that. But
yeah, I don't think that. I don't know. Well, it's expensive, first of all, and so I don't know where their, you know, where their funding and all that stuff would come from. But yeah, I don't know. I think the men's team, since you played, I definitely think it's not as they've definitely fell back, and it's more just like either like I don't know what you guys call it there. I forget. We would call it like rec league or like.
Oh yeah, there was a Met League at one point, and there was local
league. That's what you guys call it. Yeah, that something like that maybe.
Yeah, local league. Yeah. All right, that's cool. Now you know, if fast forward, well not fast forward, but you know, won the playoffs 3 times, 2017, 2018, and 19. Impressive. So which of those wins would you say was the toughest win, and why would you say it was the toughest win out of those 3?
Hands down, our first year, 2007. We were the underdog. I don't want to say we sucked in the beginning of the year, but we definitely we weren't gelling together. We weren't in the our best shape. We weren't. We had a lot of young girls to work with, and you know, I love them till this day, but you have to deal with, you know, like younger people. They're not always on the track of like, you know, this is what we have to do to, you know, be the best we can be. So luckily towards that season, we really peaked at the end. We won the trophy that year too, which was our first win. And then, so from then and on, we did really well. And then this final, we played Nottingham. And we were down. We were struggling in the first half. Like we couldn't figure out. Then we switched up our matchups. And it was just great. It was just, when you're the underdog, it's like a different feeling when you win something than if you've been very successful. Like
you got nothing to lose kind of feeling, right?
And it's like you don't have a target. You got nothing to lose. You ain't got a target on your back. People are expecting you to lose. So when you win those games, you're like, yeah. So I would definitely say our first one, just because, you know, that was our first, that really put us on the WBBL map.
On the map. Well, yeah, you helped put them on the map, definitely. And then, so let's say compare that then. You know, you've won the first one. How would you compare it to winning the last one in 2019? How was that whole feeling going into that one compared to the first time? Because you know you had the target in your back, but now you've won it a few times, and now it's a whole different...
you know, like when you win something sometimes, and people might not think you're supposed to win, they might think it's a fluke or something. You know, like they're not supposed to win. So
they're respecting you, know.
So the second year, people are like, "Oh, okay, Sevenoaks thinks they're on to something. They think they're pretty good." And then after we won the second one, then we were like, okay, yeah, we got to keep going. And yeah, so dang, now I'm forgetting which year we went undefeated and won. It was last year. Or was it the year before? T, help me out. So yeah, one year we didn't lose a league game. So that one was crazy pressure too, you know, just trying to make sure you get it done. But that was the...
Oh, no. Didn't lose a league game.
Louder for the sleepers in the back. She's so funny. Yeah, so yeah, the last one was good too, just because like I said, then it switches, right? So you're not expected to win. Now you're expected to win. So there's the pressure of, you know, making sure that you guys, the third one, Len said, my coach is in here. He said the third one. Yeah, so that one, 22-0. Yeah. So that one was big too, because you win the league, which is really hard because it's the best, it's your overall record throughout the year. So it's not like, oh, in the championship, you could just be like, you know what? Someone doesn't have a good shooting night. You guys are all out of whack. It's nothing. There's no series. So it's like, if you lose that game, then it doesn't necessarily show that you're not the best team in the league. But when we went undefeated and won at the end, I think it kind of left a...
You left that bad taste in their mouth. They had to take you serious.
Yeah.
Definitely, I like that. And talk us through your MVP season. That undefeated season, was that your MVP season as well?
I think I think so.
You won that one in 2018. 2018.
So last year I didn't win it. So the year before. Yeah. No, it was that was just the season that we might have only lost one game that year, but we still won the league.
Okay.
I think we had lost to Leicester in the league game, but we had beat them by more than we had lost to them, so we were okay. But yeah, my MVP season was good. It's just, you know, it's like one of those things that you have a good performance because the people that you're surrounded with are able to capitalize and do what they do too. You know, like if I didn't have my certain teammates, then, you know, I wouldn't be able to have as many assists that I did, or, you know, I wouldn't be able to put the ball in the basket as much as I did either. So it's just like we had a really good team that year. We were able to play off each other. Anybody could go off. So, you know, that was definitely a year that I was able to develop my game more so, not necessarily as a point guard, but just being able to distribute the ball a little bit better and not feeling. When I first got to Sevenoaks, I felt, you know, playing there and playing with a lot of younger kids, and it's like I had to do a lot. And my shot selection wasn't as good as it is now, because it's like when you feel like you have to do a lot, you know, I just be jacking the ball, you know, because it's like if I don't shoot it, and but now it's like when you surround yourself with better people, you don't have to do that. You know, you can attack when you need to attack, and you can give the ball up when you need to, or, you know, sometimes you can just sit back and watch your teammates do it. So that was definitely a good year.
So would you say that? So would you say that was some of your toughest challenges in your MVP season, knowing that majority of the responsibility was on you, you know, and also making other people better during that process? Was that some of the toughest challenges in your MVP season?
Yeah, I mean, you have to find that balance, right? You have to find that balance, and you know, some teams it's going to be different. You know, you're going to have to shoot more than you distribute, or you're going to have to distribute more than you shoot, or you're going to have to do other little things. But you know, that season I was like, if you ask any of my teammates going back to like college and stuff like that, like I can't wait to give a good assist or you know, find my teammates in their spots. You know, that's the beauty of it. It's like when you really learn your teammates, it's like I don't even have to think, oh, I know that person's going to be there, so if I create, I know they're going to move there. So I wouldn't necessarily say that was like a pressure that I felt. I just felt yeah, I just felt lucky to have those certain people in those positions, because, you know, when they do good, it in turn makes me look good, and vice versa. You know, like that's the beauty of being in a team sport, is that, You know, I don't have to shoot the ball well every game. I could go out and give 10 assists and 10 rebounds and have 5 points and be completely satisfied with that, you know, as long as we are winning and doing what we need to do. So
definitely. So talking about teammates that, you know,
everything Chris, everything Chris, everything Chris, everything Chris.